Hey there everybody, Dan here, and today I'm bringing you a brand new news update which is going to be all about our newest set, Black and White Boundaries Crossed. We've got some controversy attached to this set, but also some really awesome cards to look forward to, including a new mechanic which is our A-Spec mechanic, which is brand new, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it in this episode, so let's get straight to it. Let's start off with some basic information about the set. It's going to be released on November the 7th, which is in just over a week's time. It's also going to feature 149 regular cards, including 2 to 4 secret rare cards, which haven't completely been confirmed yet. We know we're getting at least 2, so that's really awesome too. Over 150 card set, it's got to be something interesting in there somewhere. So we're also getting a lot of full art cards actually. We've got the 6 EXs and their full art counterparts, and we've also got 3 full art trainers as well, so a lot of secret rares in this set, which is why it's so big, I guess. But we've got some interesting competitive cards in here, including the A-Spec trainer mechanic. So this is pretty big. I've gone over it when we got it in Japanese a while back, because it was introduced in Cold Flare and Freeze Bolt, the two Japanese sets that this set is made up of, and they are pretty interesting. For those of you that haven't seen it, A-Spec cards look like this, and this is an English scan of Computer Search, a new A-Spec card which is got a special rule attached to them. A-Spec cards look pretty cool as well. Got a black border, they've got the A-Spec cool little text around the edge, and the special rule is that you're only allowed 1 in your deck, so it breaks the traditional rule of only having 4 cards of the same name in your deck, and there is good reason. They are pretty powerful, and I'll just go over a couple of them now. Starting with Computer Search, which is a reprint of base set Computer Search, and it does exactly the same thing, but you won't be able to use your base set Computer Search cards in your competitive decks when this set comes out, unfortunately. A lot of people were looking forward to that, but unfortunately you're not going to be able to, as this is an A-Spec card and not a normal Computer Search. However, what Computer Search does is exactly the same. You discard 2 cards and search for any 1 card in your deck and put it into your hand. So this is obviously really powerful. It's like a junk card, but instead of your discard part, it goes straight into your deck, and you search for anything. So imagine you're just missing 1 thing for the turn 1, or you need something like a supporter for the next turn. You can discard 2 things and search for it, which is going to help out a lot of decks, a lot of decks, and I would expect to see this in pretty much every deck as well. It's going to help out many competitive decks to stay even faster than they are at the moment. It's also really strong because of Sableye. Sableye is going to be able to get these things back, so it's going to be very strong in Sableye based decks, mainly stuff like Darkrai Hydreigon and straight Darkrai. So Sableye being able to get them back and reuse them turn after turn is going to be amazing. Imagine using Computer Search on turn 1, grabbing what you need, discarding what you don't need, or what you need for later turns such as Dark Energy, and then getting it straight back with Junk Hunt. It's really powerful, and we should be seeing a lot of it in the new competitive format. And we also have this card, which is called Gold Potion, another A-Spec card, and it has a really simple effect. It allows you to heal 90 damage from your active Pokemon with no downside, apart from the fact that it's an A-Spec, you only have 1 card in your deck. But anyway, 90 damage is a really nice amount of damage to be healing right now. 90 damage is Night Spear's damage output, so if you don't run stuff like Eviolite and your EX is about to get KO'd, or you do run Eviolite and you can't get it, play Gold Potion, with no downsides and pretty much erase their previous turn. So it's pretty good, pretty strong. It would be interesting to see how many people use this in the new competitive format, but yeah, very interesting card, and then we'll see if people use it. Another 2 A-Spec cards in this set are the ones for Black and White Kyurem, called Crystal Edge and Crystal Wall. They each give different effects and can be only used on Black Kyurem and White Kyurem. So not only are you only allowed 1 in your deck, you're only allowed to use them with these cards. Or the effect only works with these cards anyway. 1 gives Kyurem 300 HP and 1 gives it extra damage output. It's yet to be seen whether these cards will be used in competitive play, since they're Dragon types, and other Dragon types like Hydreigon and Rayquaza, EX and normal, are going to be big players still in the competitive format, so there could end up being 2 easy prizes, but we'll just have to wait and see about those. So, moving on, and we've got the EXs, which are going to include stuff like Cresselia, Celebi, obviously Black and White Kyurem as well, and Landorus, which is a big player in this set. Probably one of the on par with Computer Search in popularity, as it is a really strong fighting Pokemon. It is in its Therian form, which is really cool, from Black and White 2, as it looks like a lion kind of thing. It's really awesome seeing the new Black and White 2 artwork and new Pokemon in this set. So what it does, what you want to know about, is what it does. Fighting Energy, 30 damage and 30 damage Snipe is its first attack, which is really strong. You can donk Tynamos with it, you can even donk Dark type Dinos, and you can just get 60 damage on a Darkrai if nothing else, and snipe something else on the bench like a Dino, ready for sniping the next turn. We all know how strong 30 damage snipes are in this format thanks to Darkrai, but it's going to look even more awesome with this card. and it's a really accessible card as well. It has 180 HP, it resists lightning to make it even better against stuff like Zekrom and just regular eels, and it has a weakness to water. So water isn't a very played type at the moment. It might go up with the release of Blastoise and Keldeo in this set, Keldeo being the last EX in the set. But either way, water isn't a overly played type at the moment, so Landorus is going to be very strong. Its second attack is really big as well. Cost 2 fighting and a colourless, called Earth's Judgment, and if you use this attack you do 80 damage, but if you discard all the fighting energy attached to Landorus, you get to do 70 extra damage. That's right, 150 damage for a potential discard of 2 energy if you use the colourless cost with something else. So that's really strong. It can not only KO Darkrai's, win one shot, regardless of what's on it, including Eviolites and stuff like that. It will get KO, doing 300 damage to a Darkrai, and more importantly, it will be doing 150 damage to Hydreigons. So you can one-shot Hydreigons with this card. It's going to be very interesting in the new format, and we'll see how big of an impact it has when it's finally released in November. So another 2 interesting trainer cards from the set include Hugh and Scylla. Hugh is a very strange card. It has the effect that when you play it, you either discard cards until you have 5 cards in your hand, or you draw cards until you have 5 cards in your hand. Honestly, I don't know how much this is going to be played. It's very rare that your opponent has over 5 cards and you have like 1 or 2. So there's not going to be very many situations that you can take advantage of this in, which is really not going to make it that competitive at all. As I just mentioned, there's really rare situations when you have a really small hand so that you can draw cards and your opponent has to discard some, and it could even help your opponent out. If they're holding a Dark Patch, Juniper and Energy, for example, they could discard their energy and then be able to use the Dark Patch before Junipering. It could help them out. With all this discarding energy acceleration in the format right now, it could help more than hinder your strategy. So the other card is Scylla, which is a bit more interesting than Hugh and could become competitive, and simply allows you to search for any trainer card. And that includes supporter, item and tool, so you can search for any trainer card when you play this card. Now, the bad side to Scylla is that it can muck up your random receivers. You'll probably be looking for a straight up draw supporter such as N or Juniper instead of Scylla, because if you've only got a random receiver in your hand, no other supporters, Scylla is probably going to be used to get another supporter, and that's the main downside for it. But when you've got 2 supporters in your hand, one of those being Scylla, it can be pretty game breaking. Do you remember those turns when you just need 1 card to complete your strategy and you haven't played the supporter yet? This could be the supporter that you play to grab that card. Think of the key catcher you could grab, the key tool scrapper, the key energy, anything pretty much that you can grab to make that turn as best it can be. Scylla is your card. But as I mentioned, it does have the downsides. Like Scylla, you're probably going to have to get a supporter at some point, pretty much negating its effect. But either way, really interesting card, and it'll be interesting to see it in the new competitive format. So let's quickly move on to the secret rare cards of the set. Obviously we have the 6 EXs, which makes 6 full art EXs, but we also have 3 extra full arts, which are trainers, which are Scylla, Bianca and Cheren. So Bianca and Cheren we're fully familiar with by now, and Scylla is the new one in the set we've just talked about, but they're going to be in full art form just like N was a while back now. So more trainers in full art form. People who like to pimp out their decks and love foil cards will definitely go for these. It's really cool to see, and we're just waiting for that full art Juniper now, right? As for the secret shiny rare cards in this set, there are rumoured to be 4, but there have 2 that have been confirmed, and that is Shiny Altaria and Shiny Terrakion. Obviously, Shiny Terrakion is going to be the most sought after. Altaria is still going to be sought after by people that play Garchomp still, but Garchomp kind of flopped in the Battle Roads and Regionals recently, so it's not going to be as played. But Terrakion is still a star in this format. It's a superstar in this format, and it's going to be highly sought after. But interesting to note, we now have a regular version from Noble Victories, a full art version from Noble Victories, and we also have this secret rare in Boundaries Crossed as well. Secret rare looks pretty cool too, shiny, and yeah, people like shiny basically. It's another way to pimp out your deck, just like the full art supporters. So it's going to be a very sought after card too. So there are rumoured to be 2 more in the set, which include Shiny Golurk and Shiny Rocky Helmet. So not 2 big competitive cards, but big for those collectors out there who want as many secret rares as possible. And there is a lot in this set. Lots of full arts, lots of shiny cards, lots of shiny stuff to get your hands on. And bringing out the episode is the controversy that I talked about in the beginning, and it's pretty big actually. This set wasn't set to be a game breaker, but it did have some interesting cards set to be in it, such as Escape Rope, which is going to be a reprint of Warp Point, and stuff like Bicycle as well, which allows you to draw up until you have 4 cards in your hand in trainer form. But the big news is that these cards have been axed, including Verbank City Gym as well, and Ether. These were all the interesting cards. Ether allowed you to reveal the top card of your deck. If it was an energy, you simply attach it, which gives you an extra energy attachment per turn. It's pretty interesting. Warp Point, or Escape Rope, sorry, was set to be a really cool card in the new format. But we're not going to be able to see it for cities. It's probably going to be in the next set now. And this has caused a lot of controversy because the space fillers for those are reprints, everyone's favourite reprints. They're obviously preparing for the new format when it comes out quite a while away now. They could have put it in a later set like Call of Legends was last time. But now we have reprints coming such as Pokeball, Energy Search, Great Ball, Potion and Switch, and there's a few more I think. But the worst thing is they don't really have alternate artwork. The Rocky Helmet we've seen already does have little lightning bolts on it, but Rocky Helmet isn't a massively played card anyway, so I'm sure that's not going to matter. And Potion doesn't look that different, so it's pretty frustrating for us competitive players. I usually buy a box of every set just to get my competitive collection up, but this is going to be one I'm just going to buy singles of because there's not that much competitive worthy in this set. Now the stuff is gone, like Bicycle and Escape Rope and all the interesting cards as well, and I'm not a fan of just opening a lot of reprint cards I've got a lot of copies of already. So great for the format that's coming out next year, a long way away. Yeah, we've got another year before that, but they have to prepare for it somehow. Unfortunately, it does make this set really lackluster. I'm not a massive fan of the set, but you'll hear all about my review when it officially gets all the scans out in a couple of weeks' time. So watch out for that, and do comment down below how you feel about this little controversial matter. I've heard a lot about people being very disappointed in the set now, only going to buy singles instead of boxes because of the disappointing lack of competitive cards in this set. So let me know what you think below. I'd love to hear what you say and get a little conversation going as well. So thanks for watching this news update about our newest set that's coming out, Boundaries Crossed, on November the 7th. Pre-releases will be starting pretty much now, the coming weekends from now. So get ready for those if you're going, and let me know what you think about the set below. Let me know about the cards that you like that are in the set, what you really want to get your hands on, and how disappointed or happy you might be about the reprints in the set. So let me know, and I just want to thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe and all that good stuff if you did enjoy this video, and I'll see you all next time.